So let's go in and make a parent of this object. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and just make a variable out of this one for the shield that we're creating. We're going to just call this our variable clone, and equals the object that we're creating. We do this so that we can get to it here. So now we're going to do our clone, and let's just say this is clone.transform, and what do we want to do? Parent this object to, so the parent equals what? And our parent is going to equal the game object that we're currently in. And that's our transform. Okay, so at this point we have cloned it, and we're setting that clone object to the parent to B, which is our game object that we are currently in. So let's hit save, go back over, hit play, and let's hit E. There we go. And if we move left and right, it has been parented to us, and if we go into our player preference, or our player prefab here, we can see that it's actually a part of us. So it's just where we want it to be, just simply by making the parent equal to what we want it to be. Okay, now that we have it created, we have it linked up to our player character, we can now just go in and add a little bit more logic to this. When this object gets hit, it needs to do something. It's going to lose some health and whatnot. But if we're to hit E again, we create another object. So while we're in our player, we need to make sure that we're actually saying, no, you cannot create another object until that object is destroyed. So let's go in, and we're doing an input, so we're going to check, do we hit a button? And if we hit a button, let's go in and say, well, if, and let's just do this as the check for our shield. So shield on. So if shield on is true, we haven't made that variable just yet, but we will in just a second. So we'll say if that's true, then go in and create this, and let's make this just a false. So if shield is not on, then create it, else we don't create it. And let's go back up here. We're going to make just a private variable to hold this information, and we'll call this one, as we've stated it, our shield on. We're going to create a boolean out of this one, and let's just set that to false. And what we want to do though is, once it's on or off, we need to be able to set it so that if it was off, we go inside of it. Then we need to now set shield on equals true. That way it will set it up so that it doesn't let us go back into it. So let's hit play, and we'll hit E, and if we hit E again on the keyboard, it doesn't allow us to create any more objects. We can double check inside our player preference. We've only got the one. So this one will be here until it gets destroyed. So let's go in and actually add a little more logic to our shield. We'll pull up our script for our shield. And on our script for our shield, we need a health. And what do we want to set our health to? Let's say we've got our variable shield health, or strength. And we'll say this is going to be equal to an integer, and we'll make it at least, say, 3. That'll be the strength of our shield. And what we need to do is look for an trigger event. So trigger enter, and we'll say other collider. We have this set up so that in a trigger event, it means that when this guy comes in and hits us, we're going to check for it first. We'll write our conditional if other dot tag is equal to, and what are we checking for? The asteroid. Then what do we want to do? So we can go in there and say, well, if we get hit and if it's the asteroid, then let's take our shield strength and actually let's just do we'll do shield strength. We could do minus minus, but we'll just do minus equals shield strength. In fact, let's think through that one just a little bit more. We'll do minus 1. So here we go. We've got our shield strength. Minus equals 1. We're getting rid of at least one of those points. And then what we still need to do, though, is we're checking here. Now what we need to do is also have our function for our update. And in our update function, we want to go in and say, all right, well, if our shield strength equals 0, then let's get rid of that object. So we'll go in, we'll say if, this will be our shield strength is less than or equal to 0, then what do we want to do? Well, we want to destroy this game object. Now, do we have to deparent it? Well, we might have to. We'll try it out and see what happens. Okay, so we'll go back over. Do we have any errors inside of here? We're looking okay. And let's go ahead and create our bubble. Okay, now do we have anything set up for our bubble yet? Not yet. So, let's go back in. Let's make sure that our little shield actually has the right properties set on it. So go into our collider. Let's make sure we've got that set to a trigger. So it's a trigger event. Our asteroid does have a rigid body on it, so we don't have to worry about adding anything extra to that one. So let's hit play one more time. Let's go on through. There's 1, 2, 3. There we go. We also lost. Let's make sure we're actually... Now you notice that we're losing. We lost that bubble, but it was going through the bubble, so it wasn't actually stopping on our bubble. That means the logic on our asteroid needs to be adjusted as well. So let's go back in to our asteroid to see what we've got loaded up. So we're going to go into our asteroid script. And when we go in here, we see, aha, we're only checking for the player when we actually hit something. So let's go in this time and check for something else. We'll say, well, if other .gameObject.tag, or you can go straight to the tag if you want to, is equal to shield. We have to label that one. We haven't added a tag for it, but we'll set it up here. So we're going to say if it's shield, then do we need to send any information? Not really. What we really want to do is just play our explosion. And let the shield handle itself. So we're going to play the explosion, we're going to reset our enemy, and then keep going with it. So we've got that. Now what we need to do is go back in. We need to create a new tag. So we're going to go to our tag information. We'll say add a tag. We'll say shield. Go back to our shield, set our tag to shield. So it's tagged up right. That's going to work just right for us. We'll take a peek at that and start doing a little bit of some quality assurance next.